What do you do when you're losing too many points at the net? Is it your volleys? Maybe. But today we're going to work backwards and we're going to focus on the shot before the volley. My name is Jeff Salzenstein. I'm the founder of Tennis Evolution, and even though I'm at the net right now, we're going to be backing up in a moment. And I'm going to show you how to hit devastating approach shots, because the reality is that you're losing a lot of points at the net because the quality of your approach shot is not good enough. I see it time and time again with videos that are sent to me of match play where players think they're losing points at the net because of their volleys, but it's really their approach shot. And you got to be able to hit this shot bigger and more aggressively. So let's head back here and let me break this down for you. What I see a lot, and we're going to focus more on the forehand today, but what I see a lot is players come in and they're in this part of the court and they don't get enough on this return. On this approach. There's not enough on the ball. It doesn't have enough spin. It doesn't have enough bite. It's not placed well enough. It's not hit aggressively enough. And listen, I know that before you can hit the ball big and heavy, you have to be able to make it first and you have to be consistent. I understand that. But today is all about giving you a framework on what to focus on. So the first thing that I want you to consider, we're going to focus, like I said, more on the forehand side, but it can apply to the backhand as well, is when you come up to this ball, you have to create space. I see players getting too close to the ball, just like on their ground strokes. They get too close to the ball. So they come in and they crowd the ball and they get jammed. So the first thing you have to do is when you see this short ball is you have to create space. And you see how I just did that. When I see it's coming to my forehand, I'm going to make sure that my hands get away from me here. I don't keep my hands in. This is death for your approach shot, okay? Coming in like this, coming in like this. So you have to work on space, all right? So that's the first thing I want you to be aware of, is when you see this ball, you come in and you create space. Now, if you can add the lift and land footwork pattern, where when you swing, you hop after, that's going to really help you to generate more power and spin. If you're not doing that, it's going to be a little bit harder. So we are going to focus on the lift and land. We might even talk about the run through here. The run through being when you come through, you hit it off of your outside leg. And listen, if you can't hop and you can't run through and you just step in, you can still hit that ball heavier if you have the right techniques, okay? So we're gonna focus on the lift and land, where I'm gonna hop after contact. It's gonna help me get more lift and more spin. But we're gonna focus more on the technique. I've already talked about space. Now the next thing that I want you to make sure that you're doing, and this assumes that you have a semi-western or an eastern grip. You're not slicing this ball, you're hitting. This is about being aggressive. And you got your trigger finger, your index finger spread. You have to get your hand under the ball. I see too many players come in and they knock the ball in the net and they hit the ball too flat here. So what I want you to consider doing is dropping your hand under the ball. So I have space and then I get under the ball. I could have gotten under that even more. It clipped the tape. So I'm really going to exaggerate dropping my hand under the ball. Okay, that's huge. Now, how do you get your hand under the ball? First of all, you have to feel like the hand is under the ball, but you also have to be relaxed enough. If you're squeezing too tight, okay, if you're squeezing too tight, it's going to be hard to drop the hand, or the racket head, I should say. So the hand might be low, but you might be tight. Look what happens when I relax the hand, it drops. So it's probably better for me to explain to you, get the racket head to drop lower, and you do that by relaxing your hand more. So we're building on these progressions. We start with space, and then we focus on dropping the hand or the racket head way under the ball. Okay? So that's the second big key that I want to focus on today. Now, the next key is keeping your head at contact. I say this over and over and over again to myself and to players, because we have a tendency to come up and pull our head off the ball and to look to see where we're hitting the ball. So I'm going to encourage you in this step-by-step formula create space, make sure your racket head and your hand drop under the ball, and then when you make contact, your head is still looking out at the court after contact. So your head is still here, and one cue I like to give people is that when they finish their swing, that they still feel their chest and their head on their dominant shoulder. If you go here, that's going to cause mishits and less power. I'm trying to help you hit a bigger forehand here. Even the backhand, when you're done, try to keep your head on this dominant shoulder. Okay, this is the non-dominant shoulder. I shouldn't say this is the dominant shoulder on the backhand. I should say keep your head on the non-dominant here, right? So it's dominant on this side, non-dominant on this side. Very important, forehand, backhand, doesn't matter, okay? So watch this again. I create space, I drop under the ball, and then my chin is on my dominant shoulder when I'm done. You have to exaggerate that feeling. That's gonna keep your body aligned when you swing. That's gonna help you create more extension naturally. Instead of telling yourself to extend, if you have your body alignment right, this is gonna work better instead of coming here, okay? So we're moving right along in our progression on this big forehand approach shot. Now, the next thing that I want you to focus on is turning the hand, okay? So when I swing here, I am trying to get the strings, to turn over like this, or the hand to turn over. I call it turning the hand. Joseph O'Dwyer taught me that concept. Other people call it the windshield wiper. I try to stay away from the windshield wiper. I don't really want this feeling. I want that out and around feeling, but I want this hand turn to happen early. And even if you go over the shoulder, or even if you go buggy whip, notice how the strings that are going to make contact with the ball, instead of going this way, which I see a lot of players do when they're guiding their approach shot, the strings go this way, right? So here are the strings, and then it turns over like this. So watch. So I can still go over the shoulder, I can go here, I can go here, 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 but I'm making sure the strings turn over like that. They're facing the net early in the swing. I see a lot of players go here, and then they turn it over. That's late. It has to happen early. Your hand has to be loose, and you have to accelerate at the right time to make that happen. That's how you can hit a big approach shot. Now, the final tip I want to give you on the forehand side today is practice bringing your shoulder around more. And this is a big one because I see a lot of people short arm their forehand. They'll just do this, and it won't have as much on it, and they'll be tight in their hand. Watch my shoulder here at the end. Especially if you're going to go cross court. That time I went down the line, clipped the tape. I'll go cross court here. That's where, look at my shoulder, how it comes around. And you let your offhand, I like to catch it like this, but you let your offhand come around like this. Instead of swinging and stopping here and getting jammed, you're going to let this arm swing around. I see a lot of players get jammed in here. Let the shoulder come around. Right there, there's my shoulder, and let my hand come around, my offhand. Don't stop right here. You'll lose power, you'll lose speed, you'll lose spin when you do that. So this is a huge key to get that extra power at the end, and also by bringing your shoulder around, this has this unique effect of bringing the ball into the court. So if your approach shot is flying, and you're doing this, try to bring your shoulder around more. Now, when you do that, the tendency is going to be for you to lift your shoulder and bring your head over here. When you bring this shoulder around, see how my chin is still on my non-dominant shoulder here. So make sure you stay here with your chin. As you bring this shoulder around, you keep your chin on your shoulder. That's huge. You don't want to lose that integrity at contact or at the finish. All right, that's a 5-step formula to help you hit big forehand approach shots. And remember, if you're not hitting your forehand approach big enough, then there's a good chance you're going to be struggling with low volleys down here below the net. I want you hitting volleys and overheads up here. And the way you're going to do it is focusing on this 5-step formula. Now, I don't advise that you try to get all 5 steps at one time. Focus on 1 step at a time. Work on your space for a month. Work on getting under the ball for a month. Work on your head at contact for a month. Work on turning the hand for a month. Work on this. Okay, maybe it shouldn't take a month on each one, but you get the idea. And in 6 months, you could have a really big forehand approach and you won't even be hitting volleys, okay? I hope you enjoyed this video today. I had a blast making it, just giving you that 5-step checklist on your forehand approach. Please leave us a comment below or a question. We'd love to help. Let us know what other videos we can make. Got a free membership for you. It's a free gift, actually, that I want to give you. Click below this video or somewhere inside this video. There's a link that can get you access to our free membership. No credit card required. It's inside our Tennis Evolution app and in our online platform. We're here to help you. Thanks for your time today. We'll see you at the next lesson.